Today on In the Woodyard, we got another bundler. So what we have here is a wood beaver twister. This is actually manufactured right here. It's made in Wisconsin at Multi-Tech. It's something that's been around for a long time. Now this specific wrapper is Lugger Jason's, but it's not going to be his for much more than about another 12 hours because tomorrow morning there's a guy coming from southern Wisconsin to buy it because Jason quit doing wrapping of bundles. He didn't want to do it anymore. Hadn't used the machine in a couple of years, and I said, hey, if you want to sell it, let me take it. I'll do a video and someone will be interested in it. Now these normally sell for like 2,300-ish, could be 24, something like that. And Jason's selling it for like half of that. And he just wants it gone because he doesn't use it anymore. And it's not for sale. It's already sold. The guy's coming tomorrow morning unless he doesn't show up, but it's sold and he's coming to get it. Now I was going to do a little video and just show you how they work because I haven't had this particular brand on my channel actually working before. I've shown them on a video I did up at Multi-Tech because they had a bunch of them sitting there, and they do have them for sale. If you want to buy them, they've got them. I'm going to show how this one works because it's a little different than the one I got. Now the one I got is a brute force wrapper, BF16, I think it is what it's called. Yeah, it's a BF16. I think that's what the number is. And this one here is very similar in design. The big difference is how the counterweight on this works. It's got a counterweight on here, so it always returns your wrap back to this corner. So no matter where it stops, it always brings your wrap to the right side. Now the one I have, the brute force one, as far as I know, it doesn't do that. It's got the same kind of tensioner spring on here, uses the same wrap. There is a box right there of U-line stretch wrap. It's the blown 12-inch, 1,500 foot, 80 gauge, and blown is the important part. There's 4 rolls to a box, and the guy that's buying it is getting a box plus the one that's on here. But I'm going to wrap a little bit just to show you guys how it works today. He's got this holder, and there's also this holder. So you got another one. This is the smaller size. Now, I'm assuming this is the 1 cubic foot. Could be a little more than that. This one here is probably the 0.75. And then there's marker pins here so you know how high to go. And then he's also got another tray right here. I'm not sure exactly how this one works, but it goes in there and it's for doing different types of bundling. He also has a little tray up on top, I should say up here, that he put all of his tags in there or little information sheets that he would put in with it. So he's putting that in with it. So that's kind of set up and ready to go. And then there's also this tray here. This is one that I think drops in. So it holds it. So he's got all kinds of different attachments for it, for bundling. One of the biggest differences besides the counterweight and how it works on this machine versus the one that I've got is their electric foot pedal. They both have electric foot pedals, but I'll show you up close what this one looks like. So here's the foot pedal on this one. The big difference is the one I have does not have the box enclosure. And I can tell you this from experience, it's real easy to be working and be moving around, stepping around, and all of a sudden your foot goes on top of it and it takes off on you. With this box here, you got to come in from the front. You can't accidentally hit it from the side. The box is enclosed in there. So, I mean, the foot pedal is enclosed in the box, so it's harder to get to it. This has a very light touch to it. You can see, I happen to have this hooked up to one of my power packs, which is what I use a lot of times for wrapping, because it works really good to be out in the wood yard. I do have power right here in the barn that we could be using, but I use this power pack. But a lot of times I'm way out there, out to the back, and I take a power pack and it powers it just fine. I find I think you got to have about 1,500 watts, 2,000 watts to run it decently. What's cool about this one, like you guys just saw, I kind of twirled it around. It runs on a belt with an electric motor, but watch how this comes back all the time. So there'd be 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, and you let go, and it returns back to the same spot. That is nice. Here we go again. Look at 1, 2, you can count along, kids. 3, and we'll do 4 this time. 4 wraps and you let it go, and it comes back. Now I'm gonna try to stop this so it stops here. So we're gonna do 1 wrap, 2 wraps, and I'm gonna let up right here. Oh, no, it goes back. So I wanna go over to the top and then it should continue. So you gotta figure it out. Let's do it again. You go 1, 2, 3. No, it still comes back the same way. I have to time that just right to get it to work right. Maybe I'll figure it out. I am going to do some bundling of this cherry right back here because I had a customer that I'm delivering wood to later today, and he wanted to try some wood for smoking meat. So I'm going to bundle up just a few bundles for them of this cherry and then take them some. But there it is. So let's do a little wrapping right now. Now, one of the things that I've seen on almost all of the wrappers, they have these little bitty weeny, I call them grill wheels for moving a grill around. And they're not that light. Once you get all the metal on here, these are pretty heavy. And these little bitty wheels, I think they could be a little nicer. They could stick a little more money into that. And then the other thing is they usually just have these adjustable screws here for height adjustment. You can see there's one on both sides. You can get it level. And to me, I would like to have a bigger wheel in the front and a caster in the front, so that what you can do is you could take the whole thing and you can turn it, and then you could just step on a caster that you could lock, or lock the wheel so it doesn't move. But it would be nice to be able to move it around. That's the improvements I would make. A little bigger wheels in the back, a little higher maybe so it rolls easier, and then a caster in the front that you can lock on both sides, and that way you could kind of go back and forth with it and you can work towards your wood. That's what I would do. And if you're in ground, say you're out in the woodyard and it's got soft ground, you have to put some underneath that because they do sink down and it gets out of level. And you want it to be as level as possible. So that's one of the other things. I think the motor on this is a 1/3 or a 1/4 horsepower. Let's see what it says. Survey says 1/4 horsepower. So there you go. That's what most of them have, either a 1/4 or a 1/3. And they are belt driven, as you can see. All right, so I got the bundle here. I brought a couple of pieces of cherry a little closer. And again, if you do bundling, you know how you put them in matters. And the more you do it, the faster you get at it. This is not going to be for speed. I just want to see how well it wraps and if I'm going to need to tighten up the nut on the tensioner for the wrap. And I don't even know how many pieces I'm going to put in here. I'm going to try to make them just decent sized bundles, I guess. What we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go for 12. Let's do 12 pieces per bundle. That should work out pretty good. There we go. There's 12. That looks like a pretty nice amount. So again, you can grab the wrap, and it's going to put my hand on it here and see how she does. Yeah, so it wrapped really nice. Plenty tight. It's a nice looking bundle. Very pretty. Do another one. Now, I can tell you this right away. This is quite a bit slower than the brute force one that I have. The brute force is at least 50% faster. And I got to say, if you do a lot of wrapping, same as cutting with a chainsaw, same as a splitter, speed matters. But this is a nice, comfortable working pace. I suppose you could put a different pulley on it or something. You could probably speed it up. But let's do another one. So again, I'm going to drop in the choice chunks of cheerful cherry. Choice chunks, that is. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That seems to be a good amount. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. How many would you put in? I'm just doing this. I'm going to give the guys some free cherry. I do like the speed of it as far as ease of working. Another bundle. Let's do another one just because we can. All right, so I got a couple pieces of wood a little closer here again. And again, if you're bundling, you guys know this, and if you haven't, you'll hear this now. You don't want to put your sharp edge to the outside. You want to have your curve, if you've got bark, kind of to the outside. So I try to always put the first couple pieces in like this, and that way it's smoother around it, and you can get the pieces in it, and it seems to bind better. And you don't cut your, or you don't have your wrap get cut on sharp, you know, sharp slivers and things like that sticking out. What do I got here? I haven't even been counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not that it matters, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. 12 pieces once again. Uh-oh, got a problem. Uh-oh. And I know some people go 3 wraps. I just did 4, I think. That's what I did. There we go. There's another bundle. That's a pretty big bundle. All right, so there is the wrapper. Here are the bundles. I just did 3 of them because I'm giving these to him as a sample. So these are probably a cubic foot. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm giving to him anyway just to try out. This is going to my guy that makes jerky for me and sells it to me. So I'm hopefully going to give him these 3 bundles, which is, I would sell, if I was selling these, I would sell these for like 3 for 20 bucks. And hopefully he gives me 3 packets of jerky. We'll just do a trade. That'd be awesome if we could do that. But there it is. And tomorrow, the guy that's buying this is going to be coming in, so you got to see it. And that'll happen tomorrow morning. But right now, I have to go load some wood into my little baby dumper and go take these choice chunks of cherry cheerfully put together. We're going to take those to my guy, deliver him some wood, and take him to cherry and see how he likes it. So that's what's going to happen. So there it is. The Wood Beaver Twister. I just hooked up the baby dumper to the new truck for the very first time, and I do have to make some adjustments. I had to lower the hitch a little bit. I'll show you, and I'm eventually going to have to take a link, or add a link to the chain, the safety chains, and I found out something else I want to show you. So you can see here I've got it hooked up, it's crossed. I think I'll add one more link because it's really, when I turned a corner, I backed up and I looked to see how it twisted, and I wanted to get it down. Just one more link on each side so there's room. But I found this out the other day too when I had my other trailer on. These great big huge hooks that are on here with the spring-loaded catch, they just barely fit through the holes in the Chevy here. Which is something that the Fords had too. They had small holes. My Tundra was a great big hole, worked really good, and I can barely get this breakaway for the brake cable on there. It just barely goes in, so I'm gonna have to do something. I don't know if I'm gonna add a permanent link down here. I might buy something that goes on there and then I can clip to that so it's separate. So it'll basically be a giant link in here that I would hook on, because this hole is, look at how it just fits in there. You can see where it's rubbing against the lock here. Let's see how it's right there. It's as tight as it can be from side to side if you look at the width of it. So like right here is a little bit of room, but as soon as you turn it down because it's thicker, or I swap these out with something that's a little bit less. I mean, that's my other option. Something that's skinnier would actually be better, or maybe wider instead of taller. I'll have to look around and see what I can find. If you guys got any ideas of what I should look for, what I should do, let me know if you've had that situation. But I did just lower the hitch down 1 notch so that the trailer now is more level. I can see by looking, it's pretty level from what it was, because it was just a little high. And I thought that with my big trailer too, and I hooked it up. It was a little bit too high, so I went down 1 more notch. This is a 7-inch drop, and I'm down on the bottom one here. I'm second from the bottom, so it's at a 6-inch level. I could go 1 more notch, and that would max it out, which I'm glad I got that, because that's just about perfect. And he told me that's what most guys get with this truck and with trailers. So there you go. So I'm up by the bin here. I'm going to throw in some of this odd stuff. I got a bunch of odd ones in here I'm going to throw in, and I got a bunch down. I'm kind of trying to clear this one out, because what I want to do is empty this so that I can start refilling this either with white oak or maybe ash or maybe the hard maple I would put in here. But I want to get this one cleared out so that I can open up the space. And there's a lot of low grade wood in here, and I know this guy uses this mainly for campfire wood, and he said he'll take anything. So this is what he's going to get. I see there's a box elder in here. I see there's some aspen. I see some cottonwood right there. I know there's some ash, soft maple, stuff like that. That's what's in here. But I'm going to put a bunch of this in, kind of clear this out. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to put in, there's a bunch of ash right in front of the truck. I'm going to go put some of that in, some of the little better wood. But I'm going to give him extra. He generally gets 1 face cord at a time. He's got 2 houses. So I deliver to both houses, and it's for campfire wood. So he's fine with whatever burns. But I want to give him something that's a little bit better. And I'm going to give him more than he's paying for. So the load is on, and I cleared out everything from down there down to here. 11 pallets I counted. Yeah, there's a little bit of bark and some smaller pieces of debris, but That's plenty good just the way it is. Now I can start filling this back up. You can see all the lines across there. All the way, so all I got left is this little bit right here, which is like 2 face cords, 2/3 of a cord. When I got down to this end, it was almost all ash, so I didn't go anywhere else. I just kept picking here. And up there was a whole bunch of oak on the bottom I didn't even know was there, and there was a bunch of elm. So we got elm, oak, ash, there's some popple in there, aspen. And what else did I see in there? A little bit of box elder, so campfire wood. Like I said, this guy is fine with whatever I bring. A real good guy, buys a lot of wood from me. They have fires like every night. And normally when I would fill the trailer with a face cord or 1/3 of a cord, I go just to right here. But as you can see, there's quite a crest to it. This is actually almost close to 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord, because if I fill this as full as I can get, heaping right to the top so that it just covers it, it's 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. So he's probably getting a little more than a half of a full cord. So he's getting about $60 worth of wood for free. And I'm fine with that. He's a good guy, and I got my bin cleared out. So now this bin, all of that, all the way down to where the tripod is there, that can all be filled in. And this is the area where we took the bin out earlier this year so that we can access with the tractor and the bucket from this side or from this side, and I can drive through here because it was too tight the way we had it with the narrow rows. You can see where the old bin used to be. There just wasn't really enough room. I could squeeze through just barely. Like you see down on this end. And the reason we did that, I've mentioned this before, is that having the 2 bins fairly close, I can still come down through the middle here with just the truck. Trailer not so much, but I'm getting kind of close down on that end. But what I'm able to do is come from the field side and access all of this with the tractor or the truck and trailer. And then on this bin here, I can access from this side. And it matters when you've got to turn in with the bucket to dump a load. And then over here, the same thing. You can turn in and dump in. Now this was all done this winter. This is all ash. On this end, there's nothing. So I'll be able to put in, I'm kind of thinking I might put in my newer wood that's in here. I've got a bunch of hickory up at the barn. I think I'm going to put hickory in here. Just got to stand these back. I'll put some braces in, wire it back together, and I'll put my hickory right in here because this should hold the hickory that I've got. So that's kind of my plan for that. So right now we're going to go down the road and do a dump.